Hi guys, this is Günther from Vienna. I'm here in this beautiful city. That's our stock exchange, and it's a wonderful meeting. I was at MCham breakfast this morning. It was very good talk about Austrian-American friendship. But in today's video here at the House of the European Union, I'm passing now the OPEC office, and I would like to talk about OPEC. OPEC is an evil organization. It should be expelled from Austria. It is a dirty carbon cartel. It's an organization which is exploiting Western consumers and is ripping off illegal and illicit benefits, and it's making the world dirty. It's making the poor people who don't have energy poorer. It's exploiting the national resources in a cartel style. It's much worse than the cartel of drugs. It's the cartel of OPEC, and it sits here in Vienna. This is the bad thing. It sits here in Vienna. This is the headquarters, and here it is, and it must go. OPEC 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 is evil. And you know, I can arrange myself with Saudi Arabia being an ally, but not with Russia. I can arrange myself with some other of them West African nations which are part, and you know, there's a lot of countries part, about 20, 25. But they have basically made a deal in OPEC Plus, and this is, as organization, evil. And we can make all the good countries, if they want to be good, come to OECD in Paris. This is very good. Let's make them observers, future members, make a process, reform yourself. You know, I have nothing against some of these countries who are member in OPEC, but I have something very much against OPEC. OPEC is evil. Exploitative, dirty carbon defenders, making dependency, funding autocracies and terrorism, and all that on the cost of the consumers of the world, not only of the Western consumers, but all consumers who have the unfortunate situation that they are not sucked in oil because of their geographic situation, and then they are condemned to poverty. And that's very bad. And what happens with this cartel profits? Of course, you know, some of the good buildings, they certainly have developed the Gulf states, but mostly it's funding war, terror, tyranny. And why should we have that? And why should we have that in Vienna? This is a typical situation when you think for your short-term benefits, you think it's good money, you know, then we know the ambassador of Saudi Arabia, we make some business, yes, come to Mars, make some meetings here, OPEC fund, some benefit, few benefit, a lot. But most people pay higher prices, dependency on carbon, and tyranny and terror and dictatorship in the countries, then export it. And because they have the money and resources to export their terrorist ideas, they then later we have then to pay for the mess they create in Africa and in Asia, because they have the money from us, the European and American consumers, and the other consumers of the world who have to pay these high prices. And that's exactly totally unfair and unjust. And so I say this must change, and change comes now and comes here. We simply close the office, end the status of agreement with the OPEC, and kick them out. Yes, kick them out. This is very easy, and you know, it will be a relief for the global poor. It will be competitive pricing in the oil markets. It will be the end of this management of quantities and of exploration kind of quotas, because what they do is basically by voluntarily targeting the oil market, they're taking out capacities. That means they sell less and so raise prices, or sell more when they want to cut it. So it's a kind of not a free market, yeah. They don't manage it in their optimum returns, but according to the wishes and whims of the King of Saudi Arabia or Putin, or their fluctuating relationship. Now at the moment it's a bit worse, because everybody understands Putin is losing, and so the Saudis listen more to us, but still OPEC is evil. So that's my call here in Vienna put principles first over profits and end this dictatorship, terrorism and tyranny funding organization called OPEC. And the Albanians, happy Independence Day, will live much better and everybody in the world will be better off. They will still have billions and trillions in the Gulf and in West Africa, but it will be based on OECD principles, on market forces, and no longer Putin can manipulate global oil prices and not the king of Saudi Arabia. They can still do it, they can produce less. It's his company, he can do that, but not in our jurisdiction, not on our kind of territory, not based here in Vienna. No, no, no. OPEC must go. Thanks a lot this morning. This is Günther Fehlinger-Jahn on the way to change the world. Freedom! Bye!